Here's the way I wanted to start my New Year's Eve. Being facetious, of course. You must remain vigilant. 3 reports coming out. Public can expect to see a tremendous amount of police resources throughout the area. Members of the elite specialized unit will be deployed. Emergency service unit will be deployed. K-9 teams will patrol with bomb-sniffing dogs. They'll be deployed. Aviation unit will be out there. Drones will be deployed overhead. Watch for any suspicious or unusual activity, just a portion of what's occurring. While Trump insiders, according to this, sworn to silence. No member of the incoming administration or transition speaks for the United States or the president-elect himself just before these warnings and just before this is reported. Based on available indicators, the incident has been attributed to a Chinese state-sponsored advanced persistent threat actor considered a major cybersecurity incident happening within the U.S. government just within 24 hours, and we have the makings of a New Year's nightmare. Something wicked this way comes, and I'm going to show you all the elements of exactly what's now occurring. Glad there was a pause there because I had to take a deep breath. News breaking everywhere. You know we cover all the major headlines for you, including this one, before we get to our primary stories. Trump nominates conservative culture warrior to lead DOJ's Civil Rights Division. I don't believe there's enough talk about this. Harmeet Dillon, Republican lawyer out of California. But how is she going to impact things? What was she appointed to lead the DOJ's Civil Rights Division? Well, what does that do with you and I? Well, what do you think about DEI? No, I didn't intend that to rhyme. It just happened to. Do you believe in it? Because if you don't, and you want to see the initiative fall, this is who you want in the seat leading the effort.
Well, so if you wanted to pick like the most extreme possible like attorney to put in charge of the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department to sort of reverse DEI, it would be this lawyer named Harmeet Dillon, who's been a California lawyer who's been, the scourge of woke corporations for the last decade. As it happens, she has just been appointed to run the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department.
And if we stop there, so if the United States government no longer supports DEI, then that DOJ prosecutorial arm assures that the initiative of DEI isn't being implemented in companies, and she will take the lead in that effort against those initiatives, and that's exactly who you want in the seat. She gained prominence because she defended Trump supporters who were being attacked in California, and they claimed it was because of their conservative beliefs. When they defended themselves, they found themselves in court, and she fought for them, saying that the city's officials' inaction was colored by political viewpoint considerations. She's taken on the likes of Google. Why is this so critical? Why is the left so concerned about this? Well, NBC tells you. The quote they utilized, the nomination of Harmeet Dillon to lead this civil rights office is yet another clear sign that this administration seeks to advance ideological viewpoints over the rights and protections that protect every person in this country. Boo-hoo. Dillon filed multiple lawsuits going back into her history, challenging California Governor Gavin Newsom's stay-at-home orders on behalf of business owners who want to remain open and religious leaders who want to hold services. She's defended ex-Fox News host Tucker Carlson. She is the quintessential candidate for the very initiative that the voters who voted for Donald J. Trump want to see reversed. And companies are falling in line. And if you don't fall in line like Costco, then suddenly you get backlash. As a matter of fact, boycott Costco is rising right now after their board decided that they didn't want to go along with the campaign. But that's a lawyer in, and then there's lawyers out. You remember the guy on your screen? Oh, he's not hard to forget, is he? Matthew Graves, to be more specific. Remember this statement he made.
Focus on those who entered the building or those who engaged in violent or corrupt conduct on Capitol grounds. But if a person knowingly entered the restricted area without authorization, they had already committed a federal crime. Make no mistake, thousands of people occupied an area that they were not authorized to be present in the first place.
So in other words, even if you were there, Matthew Graves was going to come after you, but that's not all Matthew Graves did. No, you remember the prosecution of Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, Roger Stone? Graves was involved. Do you remember protecting the Bidens, the Hunter Biden scandal? Joe Biden's potential and claimed involvement, and it all goes away. Who shielded him? Matthew Graves. Well, now we come to find out, like so many before him and so many after him, well, he's going to step down. But Pam Bondi's not going to allow this simply. Just allow him to simply exit stage left. Let's hope she doesn't. Julie Kelly initially reporting this. Sources tell me D.C. U.S. Attorney Matt Graves has resigned. Don't go too far, buddy. Isn't that a perfect statement? Bet everybody's trying to exit stage left right now, aren't they? The special counsel, Jack Smith, to be more particular, going ahead and turning over his case, handing it over to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Florida. Whose desk does that initially end up on? According to Federal Rule of Appellate Procedure 27, 11th Circuit Rule 27.1, the United States of America moves to withdraw from the case and following attorneys, blah, blah, blah. Those attorneys are associated with the Special Counsel's Office. The Special Counsel has now referred this case to the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida. Who's one of the judges over there? Eileen Cannon. Now, this one's going to be difficult. I was furious when I saw this come out. Anybody who knows me knows I cannot stand Mike Johnson. After the disaster that ensued, we suddenly see that Donald J. Trump, well, at the very bottom of this Truth Social post, the American people need immediate relief from all the destructive policies of the last administration. Speaker Mike Johnson is a good, hardworking, religious man. He will do the right thing, and we will continue to win. Mike has my complete and total endorsement. I had to digest that for a little while. Not happy about this. I told you I am not a cheerleader for any politician. So when I see what I believe to be a wrong move, I will react to that wrong move. However, after much introspection, there could be a strategic reason for this, as hard as it is for me to say. Okay, just a quick break in the action. Need a favor from me. If you like what we're doing here, please support the channels. Make sure you're subscribed to Lisa. Make sure your bell is checked to all so you're actually alerted to upcoming broadcasts. She'll put a link to my channel above if you can subscribe there. Can't tell you how much it means to us. If you want to see Lisa today, she'll be broadcasting over at restrictedrepublic.com. Use discount code Trump47. Monthly checkout special offer on us. $2.99 a month for 3 years, 14 days for free. Make sure you do that today. You'll get to see Lisa. She's got an amazing broadcast for you. But now let's get back to this broadcast. Mike Johnson coming out. Thank you, President Trump. I'm honored and humbled by your support. As always, together we'll quickly deliver on your America First agenda and usher in the new golden age of America. The American people demand and deserve that we waste no time. Let's get to work. It's like listening to Pence. It's like listening to Paul Ryan. Well, Trump gets called out immediately. Victoria Sparse comes out. I understand why President Trump is endorsing Speaker Johnson as he did Speaker Ryan, which is definitely important. However, we'll still need to get assurances that Speaker Johnson won't sell us out to the swamp. But why would he stop now? Donald Trump endorses Paul Ryan and John McCain, just as a reminder there, he doesn't always pick the right people. But going back to those original articles I showed you of the battle that's brewing, something wicked this way comes. And China and Russia just told you all you need to know. And so Donald J. Trump could be circling the wagons, preparing for what will be an onslaught, not only by domestic actors and those within the opposing political party, but powers far greater. This nomination may very well be, and I think Elon Musk coined it imperfect, Thomas Massey coming out. I respect and support President Trump, but his endorsement of Mike Johnson is going to work out as well as his endorsement of Speaker Paul Ryan. But what are we to do? If it's not Johnson, who would it be? Or would it end up being anyone? A House without a Speaker can pass no laws. It would go into a quagmire, of which Trump would not be able to advance any of his initiatives. So strategically, he may be trying to keep a leash on Mike Johnson and utilize him for his purposes until which point in time it is decided that Mike Johnson is no longer serving those purposes. And then maybe that's the time to make the move. Maybe now is not. Elon Musk responded at the bottom of Massey's post, "You might be right," which I agree, "but let's see how it goes." An indicator of exactly what Trump just did. And if that is the truth, I will begrudgingly support it, because I want the America First agendas flowing through, and I want defense against foreign aggressors. And I want defense and building of our border. And I want drilling of our strategic oil. And without a speaker, none of that's really a potential. But now who was sworn to silence and why? Hegseth, Gabbard, Kennedy. Get a memo from the Ice Queen, Ice Princess, Ice Maiden, call her what you will. She's been quoted as many things. The one who's leading the effort for Trump this time. The one who's assuring the message is on point. And I don't want an administration that babbles a whole lot. Susie Wiles, to be more specific, has been the voice of reason for Donald J. Trump, the one who's kept him in line. It's why things aren't as loud and obnoxious as they have been prior. It's why she was put in that post. Almost as if a mother watching over a son, assuring that things don't get too disruptive because there is an agenda that needs to be fulfilled. And so she orders all intended nominees to stop posting on social media ahead of Senate confirmations. I think Hegseth is the first, at January 14th, if I recall correctly. And we need him right now. And we need Gabbard right now. And we need Kennedy right now. You see, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy don't need to go through the confirmation. They could say what they want when they want, and all they can potentially do is lose their support of Donald J. Trump. But these folks of Hegseth and Gabbard and Kennedy need the appointments from the Senate. Silence is golden. Right now, their skills overweigh anything we need to hear from them. Right now, they have one job: get appointed, because our enemies are growing more malicious by the minute. And that's why the memo came out. Trump nominees have gone silent since Christmas. They received this warning before. It's just reiterating the warning so people quit trying to push them into post. It could change the minds of just a few in the leadership positions in Senate, and the nominees will go off the rails. They can only afford to lose, I think it's 3. Just putting everything into perspective here. The quotes are irrelevant because the enemy is here. So many don't read these reports. U.S. Department of Defense, military and security developments involving the People's Republic of China. The report of 2024 coming out, I believe it was in December 18th or so. I read the 182 pages, as I always do, and if anybody read these and understood them and actually digested them, and it's boring information in some ways, they'd realize that China is building a military that soon will be unmatched if we don't start progressing our own military further to stay in front of them. The PLA, the People's Liberation Army, public enemy number 1, is attacking on multiple fronts militarily, building 50 new intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of striking the continental U.S. Now start to think about Trump's moves of Canada and Greenland and the strategy behind that. Now they'll have 400, 300 medium-range ballistic missiles, 600 operational nuclear warheads, projected to surpass 1,000 by 2030. Hypersonic missiles being built, the Navy being enlarged to something that's larger than our own Navy. And they're flaunting it in the face of Trump to show that they have no fear for what he'll put down upon him. So what would Trump be focused on right now? Petty domestic social media battles? Or the bigger battle that many would argue the Biden administration, through so much focus on Ukraine, allowed our enemies to advance? And what has he done domestically to build our defenses? I say nothing. China's Navy, already the largest in the world with 370 ships, will grow to 435 by 2030. South China Sea, ring a bell? Panama Canal ring a bell? Just putting all of what Trump's talking about into perspective. Rumors swirling that China's military is there. We still cannot validate that or not, but it is a strategic point of trade, as is the South China Sea. Control of either will only hurt the United States. But they're growing their military well beyond just weaponry. They're building it to psychological warfare, which most would just push away. Psychological warfare and AI and misinformation, things out of a sci-fi film is what they're doing. That's just science fiction justice. Is it? Talked about this weapon, the Havana Syndrome. This weapon that could be aimed without ever seeing it. Disrupt the minds of those it's aimed at. Foreign adversary, but that wasn't real either, right? That was never real. That never happened. It's an illusion. Except for when a CIA whistleblower comes out and says, it's all being covered up. And the CIA's covering it up.
You were attacked by an energy weapon.
Yes, a directed energy weapon.
The intelligence community has attempted to thwart congressional investigative efforts to uncover the truth at every turn. I mean, that sounds like a government cover-up.
It's a cover-up and it's terrifying, and it should be terrifying to all Americans.
It appears increasingly likely that a foreign adversary is behind these injuries. Vertigo.
Yes.
Eye tracking issues.
Yes.
Traumatic brain injury. Yes. Did the CIA gaslight you?
Me and every other age I've.
Catherine Heritage. Oh, wait, that was all conspiracy theory. That didn't really happen. Well, of course. Nothing that can harm an American that they don't want you to know about is thrown into the realm of conspiracy. Now, is it? Come on, folks. Lisa's taught you better than that. I've taught you better than that. And I know you know better than that. So when these little articles come out of China, and so many New York Times posts on this, but most couldn't even consume it. China hacked Treasury Department in major breach. Just came out. What's the date on the article? December 30th. That's right, yesterday. Right before New Year's Eve, huh? Drones in the sky, planes colliding, planes falling, cybersecurity attacks. One of China's intelligence agency hacked the U.S. Treasury Department, gaining access to the workstation of government employees and unclassified documents. The Biden administration said on Monday the latest in a series of embarrassing surveillance operations. Oopsie, how did they do that? How did they do that? Here was the notice from the Department of Treasury, which clearly states, based on available indicators, the incident has been attributed to a China state-sponsored advanced persistent threat actor. Trump has bigger things to worry about than Mike Johnson. The only way he could defend against this is to get his appointments through, so he wants them silent. Because something wicked this way comes, and that wicked has been the same as we've reported for years now. Public enemy number one is China. But now, in this evil band of brothers, enter Russia, who now tells Trump, you know that Ukraine peace plan you proposed? Yeah, we don't like that so much. How weakened has the Biden administration made the great Republic of the United States of America? How much do they know of our current inability to fully defend ourselves to our fullest potential? The mightiest military on the face of the earth is now being saber-rattled against by China, by Russia, by many other actors. How far behind have we gotten? Why it matters. Russia's rejection of Trump's peace proposal is significant because it means that the incoming administration will now have to revamp its strategy when it comes to negotiating between Kyiv and Moscow. As both sides have now rejected parts of the president-elect's proposal, in order to facilitate negotiations, Trump will have to come with an entirely new strategy. To do that, he will need his administration fully in place ASAP. The Democrats will try to delay it. Trump can't engage in a battle in the House right now. Why I had to absorb so much information to come up with this conclusion, it pains me to tell you, because I despise Mike Johnson, but strategically I now understand the full picture of what Trump in his leadership posts, and man, I've been in those posts, and you have to make tough decisions. But you have to make long-term strategic decisions. Sometimes a battle today simply isn't worth it. Those of you who are married know exactly what I'm talking about. So he demands silence from his nominees. Just get in. I need you. The world's fallen apart around us, and they view us as weak and insolent, and we can't have that. Our border has crumbled. Attacks happening right now in an effort to get in before the Trump administration locks it back down, selling off the border wall. Everything you could put against this man, they're putting against him. And that notice I showed you in the beginning came out of New York. Preparing for the New Year's Eve celebration. And it goes as the quintessential example as to why all this needs to occur immediately. Why Trump has to shelve the argument about Mike Johnson. Why he has to silence his appointees so that they can get nominated by the Senate. Because you should never have to worry about going to a New Year's Eve celebration. Thankfully, as of now, as reported by Fox News, first New Year's Eve prep underway in cities across the globe as world prepares to ring in 2025. They state there's no credible threats. However, we're going to have dogs. We're going to have drones. We're worried about potential protesters. What they're worried about is the fact that our U.S. government simply can't report on things that are so obvious to everyone, no matter what the campaign is for this. They can't provide clarity. But without clarity, there's confusion. With confusion, there's weakness. And it's a weakness that they tend to propagate throughout their entire administration, and a weakness that we cover day in and day out, because I don't want anybody to fear anything. There's no reason for fear. It weakens everything. But there's strategy. And so we work hard day and night to assure that that strategy is outlined to you. Even when we ourselves may disagree with it, if strategy overrides my personal opinion, then I'll tell you. And in the case of Mike Johnson, it overrode my personal opinion. But that doesn't mean I won't report on if Trump is doing something right or wrong. And I will continue to do that for you. That's why Lisa and I work day and night to provide this, and sometimes the analysis is just tough. And this one was not easy, but it was critical. Because, my friends, something wicked this way does come, and Trump needs to stave it off. And to do so, he needs the full strength of his cabinet, his appointees, his administration, and we the people to support him. My prayers and your prayers need to remain with him and the administration, that they deliver us from this evil that now surrounds us because of the weakness we have shown under the Biden administration. Our enemies need to know who is number one at all times. And there is strength through threat. There is strength through power. And Trump needs to give us that power back in 2025. All right, folks, before we end this video, there has been one sponsor that's been paramount to us for 2024, and it's a sponsor who brought you this video. It is Noble Gold Investments. Today, I need you to go to lisahavengold.com. Again, that's lisahavengold.com. Here's what the website looks like. See one of her videos up there. Family, finance, future. Noble Gold helps me protect all three. And it certainly does, because in 2025, as we're coming into it, de-dollarization's accelerating. China and BRICS nations are trying to reduce their dependence on the U.S. dollar. As I reported to you today, hacking into the Treasury because they want to know what we're doing. How do you support against that? How do you protect your family against that? China's buying gold quietly, underreporting their purchases. And why? Because they know gold's global value, its ability to withstand economic shock, and its immunity to manipulation. This isn't just about nations. It's about you. Gold's your personal hedge against uncertainty. Noble Gold Investments can help you secure your financial future with gold. So again, please go to lisahavengold.com today or call 877-646-5347. And again, with every qualified account, you can receive up to 10 of these. This amazing 1-ounce silver American Eagle coin. If holding it doesn't work, don't worry, I'm going to flash it on your screen. And if you want more information, click the More button below. If you're on a cell phone, click the link in the description box below. And remember, there's always a risk to investing and never a guarantee. But if one person could help assure your future, it is lisahavengold.com. Get there today. And again, thank you, Noble Gold Investments, for your long-standing sponsorship of this channel and these videos. We can't thank you enough for all you've done. But now, let's end this video. If I don't speak with you again, we wish you extremely secure, prosperous, and happy 2025. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. We love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.